Hello, my name is Charles, and in today's video, we're going to go over how to choose what to do with your life. You know, a lot of people, especially my age, right, who are young and in their 20s, are like, man, what do I want to do with my life? You know, what do I want to do? There's a million different career options. Everyone on YouTube is telling you to do this or that. You should drop ship. You should do this. You should become a yogi. You should meditate. You should take cold showers. You know, you should do that. Everyone's telling you what to do. You know, honestly, right? I mean, this is going to sound ridiculous, but you could think nothing for what to do. And everyone in the world, most people, right? 95% of people are just going to tell you what to do. You know, right? And so, I mean, you could live like a bot and just do what everyone says and you do something. But that's not what we're here for. We're going to consciously decide how what we want to do with our life. And there's a couple ways to do that. There's a couple ways to consciously decide what do you want to do with your life. And so I think the first thing to bear in mind is the measure at which we gauge, the success. So first, we know, or the ultimate truth being like, how much have you loved, right? We know whatever we want to do in life. Ultimately, if it comes from a place of love, whether love for creating, love for giving to others, love for serving others, love for connecting, it doesn't matter what it is. If it comes from a place of love, it doesn't matter what you choose. Like genuinely, there are no wrong or right options as long as it comes from a place of genuine love. So that's the ground truth, right? As long as it comes from a place of genuine love, there is no wrong or right options for what to do with your life. So that being said, now we're like, okay, well, how do we know, right? I got to make money. How do I know I'm going to be successful, right? So I had a friend recently, and he's presumably pretty high in openness. He has, there's lots of possibilities. He could do this. He could do that. He could be a computer, a computer science guy or a tech guy. He could be, an English teacher in a foreign country. He could do so many things. He can play music, right? So there's lots of options, and he sees all the possibilities. And so many people my age will see all the possibilities, all the available options, and just get overwhelmed, right? It's like, it's just too many choices. What do I want to do with my life? There's too many choices. Now, I have a wonderful, amazing, just absolutely phenomenal partner that I'm devoted to. And she gave me amazing advice. And this advice is so true. She told me, you just got to commit to something. You got to stick to something. And so why does that matter? Essentially, what I have learned, right, in conjunction with the amazing advice from her, is that you don't, no matter what you choose, as long as it's filled by love, right? Just to preface, no matter what you choose, as long as you give it sustained, vivid, continuous attention, the universe will yield. Life or God will yield. Like, it will yield. And so what do I mean by that? It doesn't matter if you choose, tech, and you're like, I'm going to make, the meta choice and choose computer science, right? Because I think that's the optimal thing I should do with my life is study computer science. It doesn't matter if, it's psychology or philosophy or or civil engineer or mathematician or even musician. It doesn't matter the specific profession. It just matters if you give it your unyielding, or even, it just matters if you give it your unyielding attention. So, I mean, take the example of like a relationship, a romantic partnership, or even a marriage, right? You don't want, you want them to be fully in it. You want to feel like you're their priority and you are their priority. You want to be there, or like do you want them to feel like they are your priority. They are your priority. You got 100% attention. When they're talking, you got 100% attention on them. And so in the same way with life, if you want it to yield, if you want to be able to succeed or do well in anything, I mean, it could be, just literally anything. If you give it sustained, continuous attention, the universe, like God will yield. Life will yield to you. And especially in like today's society, where it's like a super, what's it called? Specialized society, right? We need technical people in certain fields, in every certain field, that are like super specified for certain positions. That the ability to hyper focus or to commit to some sustained attention on something is going to yield results. And so don't worry, right, about making the next quick buck, or, what's the most lucrative at the time. Just, a good way to decide, a genuinely good way. Now, is if you go into some small period of time of solitude, or just without peer influence, right? And you genuinely consider, what do I want to do with my life? And if it comes from a place of love, or even if you're in the most, social thing. I mean, there are around two good ways. You can do it in the, solitude, where you evaluate like, okay, like genuinely without any peer influence, this is what I want to do. And you just commit to it. Because the person who commits to something they're just going to go farther along the journey. It's going to yield for them. And then the second thing you can do is you can recognize, when have I made people the happiest? Like, when have I brought the most joy? Was, like, what pain or thing did I have that I transformed and used to bring someone joy? Was it like a mental thing that I solved and brought joy? Was it, I didn't know how to, let's say you had car troubles and you learned how to like fix cars and all that stuff. And then you went around fixing everybody else's car and they're like, wow, he's solving my problems. This is great. And they're all appreciative and happy and thankful. Like, think about all the things that bring others the most joy. And you'll see that if you commit to that, the universe will yield to you. Things will go well. I know, because I know from personal experience, our brains worry about a bajillion different things. And we have thoughts that fly from here to there and just all sorts of nonsense. But genuinely, if you learn to sustain attention on something, to devote to a person, to a career, to a life fueled by love, genuine, faithful love, then you will succeed. You will do well. There are no right careers or wrong careers, as long as it's from genuine love. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this helps anyone. This video came, one, because I love creating them. I genuinely enjoy it. And two, because a dear friend of mine had this recent experience where he's telling me, he's like, man, I really don't know. I just don't know, like almost paralysis analysis. Like, I don't know what to commit to. And so it's like I get the overwhelm. I get the feeling of like, there's too many choices. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Fuck this. Break down. YouTube. And so instead of that, take some time, figure out what you want to do, and commit to that. I wish you all a wonderful night, and God bless.